Good morning, everybody. Hello, welcome. This is Rajni Gurpreet here. Today, I sit here to share with you some of my learnings from our language program that we are doing these days in the Corona period, in the lockdown period. So, lockdown opened up new possibilities for our children to look at the camera, to follow through. A lot of children who were not doing this earlier, now they are sitting and they are following through. Rigorous practice by the parents, months and months of hard work, and lot of learnings when it comes to language development, when it comes to skill development. So here is my take or my findings as to why I sit in front of you today to talk about this dynamic. Okay, so we started with our language classes, the Zoom classes in approximately about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, when children were at a one word level. So we clubbed children together, children with similar abilities, and we started off. So what is this? Cat. So from there, building it on and on and on, and to a level where now they're doing picture description. So we are showing a picture and the child is describing various things. Again, different children at different levels. So the reason I make this video today is to give a very important takeaway. This is something I realized yesterday and it struck me like lightning. And I said this must be shared. Okay, so here's the point. A lot of mothers, actually every mother on the group, they came up with this understanding by almost week 8 that just because every time they've gone out in the market or wherever with their children in the pre-corona times, the things that they've spoken to children is, this is a cow, it has 4 legs, its color is brown, or whatever, color is black. And now when they're showing a picture to a kid, the natural tendency of the child is to say, this is a table, it has 4 legs, it is wood, and that's about it. There is nothing that the children, or this is a bike color is yellow, bike goes on road. Okay, so when we are not intervening, like before, we went ahead with the program and taught them to say more sentences and think in a holistic way. The one thing that came forward was that me as a mother am not trusting my kid enough to be giving my child all that input, and somewhere my very conscious brain is thinking, is he even going to understand? If I tell him that this sweet shop has sweets which are made out of milk, and that cow picture I showed you in the morning, that cow gives milk, so we don't trust our children. We don't create the resources like that. When we are describing a cow, it ends at that, 4 legs, 1 pooch, 1 tail. Yeah, me and my habit of going from one language to the other, but okay. So we are not telling children the various aspects associated with it. So if I'm doing a picture reading with my kid, it ends there. It doesn't go with my kid to the market and it doesn't say, see, look at this. This is the petrol pump. We did that bike in the morning, and you pull out a picture from your phone because you must have the resource, and you're saying, see this bike? All bikes run on petrol. Where do they get petrol from? Here. And then you go back home and you say, give me one more sentence on petrol, on bike. And the kid says, bike runs on petrol. And you say, bingo, there you go. So basically, language is an ongoing process. So what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, show our children pictures, talk to our kids about it, build around it, and then try to integrate various other things along with what we have taught them, which is very, very physical. The one thing that has come out very openly in my classes is that our children will describe anything only to the extent of what they are seeing. Beyond that, nothing. So why is that happening? Because that's how we've taught them. You explain it to an extent, that you can see, but not building it thereafter. And trust me, anything can be built. Anything can be built. Another very important area that we work on in the language classes is, which is odd. So when children were not intervened, it was difficult for them to even figure out that a rat or another small animal and a lion. So the lion is odd because the other three animals are small. It was difficult for them to even figure out to that level, but now they are giving very complex statements. That's only because we told their mind there is another way of looking at it. And that's my point here, ladies. Tell children, ladies and gentlemen, if you want your child's language to improve, talk to them, tell them the various aspects of anything. It could be anything, just talk to them about it. So for example, if I have to talk to my kid about, let's say, any picture, let's just for example pick up a taxi. Okay, in case you're wondering what is this is one of my resources that I work with children. Pictures, alphabets, a lot of things I do with these are laminated resources anyway. So suppose we show this and we say, what is this? Okay, so rather than simply stopping at this is a car or this is a taxi, it has 4 wheels and it's yellow in color, we can take it to a lot many more levels. When Papa went airport, he took taxi. In case you have any pictures of daddy going to airport sometimes in the past, so you click that picture and you say, see, we were saying bye. So when Papa went airport, he took taxi. English, Hindi, mother tongue, anything. Then you can ask the child more questions around it. Okay, tell me, we want to go to mall and there is no parking. What should we do? There is no parking. Parking is full. Now some of you might say, my kid is not that level. Okay, then first teach what parking is. So when you go to the mall and you step out, like of course with Corona, but Corona is not forever. It's going to go away. So when you go into the mall parking, you say, you know what? This is called parking. Where are we? Parking. So many cars? Parking. Our car is in the parking. So now you know it's parking. So then you can build. So that's my point here. On one thing you build. So for a kid, you can ask n number of questions on just this one teeny weeny small picture. So you can say, okay, so if parking is full in the mall, what will we do? We don't want to drive so long and trouble for parking. So then you give hint. You say, what we do? We will order a taxi. And how can we order a taxi? And then you take, our kids are all techie smart, okay? So you teach them on the phone, they know it, and you will agree to it by looking at the kind of games they play and the passwords they change. That's just crazy. So they will know Ola and Uber. So you say, we go here, we click here, what happens? Taxi comes. Now you got a whole new thing to talk about. I want taxi, I book Ola, I click on phone, Mama pay from wallet. So then there's another whole thing. This is wallet, this is Paytm. So you can just go on increasing it. And you can say all taxi are yellow or maybe whatever. Like if you are in another country and there's another color of taxi, so all taxi are not yellow, all taxi are yellow. Build around it. The point I'm trying to say is language is like an ocean. It's never ending. And if we want our children to be discussing the intricacies of language and talking to each other and socializing, then to simply leave it in the hands of fate and to say that so and so's kid is high functioning so they can discuss politics. My kid will not. Your kid will not. Why? Because you didn't bother to, or bother is the wrong word, probably you were not aware to build it up like that. There is no name calling or no blaming. There is no bother word. But what I'm saying is, it's high time that we wake up. We wake up to the fact that the word called disability is an old-fashioned word. Let's just replace it with a different ability, and what can I do about it? So on that note, thank you so much. Hope this talk was of value to you. Bye.